Long ago, in a quiet village surrounded by forests and gentle hills, there was a clear lake known as Silver Lake. On still mornings, its surface reflected the sky so perfectly that it seemed like another world beneath the water. The clouds, the trees, even the birds flying above appeared in its mirror-like surface. Near this lake lived a young woman named Mira. Mira was kind and hardworking. She helped her family, spoke gently to others, and did her best in everything she tried. Yet inside her heart lived a restless voice. Whenever she saw someone more talented, she felt smaller. When a friend received praise, she smiled, but inside she compared herself. When she succeeded, she worried it was not enough. When she failed, she judged herself harshly. Her thoughts rose and fell like waves. One morning, Mira walked to Silver Lake to gather water. The air was calm and the surface of the lake was perfectly still. She leaned forward and saw her reflection clearly. Her face looked peaceful in the water. But then, a light breeze passed across the lake. Ripples formed. Her reflection trembled and broke apart into shifting fragments. Mira sighed. "That is just like me," she thought. "When life is calm, I feel steady, but the smallest change disturbs me." Troubled by this thought, Mira decided to visit the monastery in the hills. She had heard that the Buddha was staying there and teaching about peace of mind. When she arrived, she found the Buddha seated beneath a tree, watching the sunlight filter through the leaves. The air around him felt still and quiet. Mira bowed respectfully. "Teacher," she said, "my mind is never steady. When others succeed, I feel jealous. When I fail, I feel ashamed. Even when I do well, I fear it will not last. Why can I not feel at peace?" The Buddha listened without interrupting. "Mira," he said gently, "walk with me to the lake." They returned to Silver Lake in the early morning light. The surface was calm again, reflecting the sky perfectly. "Look at the water," said the Buddha. "What do you see?" "I see the sky, the clouds, and the trees. Everything is clear." The Buddha picked up a small pebble and dropped it into the lake. Ripples spread outward in widening circles. The reflection shattered and wavered. "Now what do you see?" he asked. "I see broken shapes. The reflection is no longer clear." "Did the sky break?" he asked. "No." "Did the trees change?" "No," Mira said again. "The sky and trees remain as they are. Only the surface of the water was disturbed." Mira watched the ripples slowly move outward. "Your mind is like this lake," he continued. "When it is calm, it reflects the world clearly. But when jealousy, fear, or comparison disturb it, the image becomes distorted." Mira lowered her eyes. "So the problem is not the world?" she asked softly. "The world is as it is, but when the mind is unsettled, it cannot see clearly." The ripples began to fade. The water slowly returned to stillness on its own. "Do not chase the ripples," the Buddha said. "Do not throw more stones into the water by judging yourself for feeling them. Simply watch. Allow them to settle." They sat quietly beside the lake. Mira focused on her breathing. She noticed the cool air, the gentle sounds of birds, and the soft movement of the trees. Gradually, the surface of the lake became clear once more. The sky returned to its perfect reflection. In the days that followed, Mira practiced watching her thoughts. When she saw someone praised, she felt the first ripple of comparison. Instead of feeding it with more thoughts, she paused, she breathed, she allowed the feeling to exist without adding to it. When she made a mistake, she felt the sting of shame, but she did not speak harshly to herself. She simply noticed the ripple and waited. Slowly, something changed. The ripples still came, but they did not last as long. One afternoon, a friend displayed beautiful artwork in the marketplace. People gathered around and offered warm praise. Mira felt the old jealousy rise like a pebble striking water. But instead of turning away, she remembered the lake. She breathed in slowly. She felt the ripple without pushing it away. Within moments, the jealousy softened. For the first time, she could truly admire her friend's work without shrinking inside herself. Weeks passed, and Mira found that her mind felt clearer. She returned to Silver Lake one evening at sunset. The sky was painted with gold and pink, and the water reflected its colors perfectly. The lake looked endless, like a mirror stretching into another world. Mira smiled. She realized the lake had never been broken. It had only been disturbed for a while. Beneath every ripple, the water remained clear. Later, when children in the village complained that they felt not good enough, Mira would take them to the lakeshore. She would drop a small pebble into the water and watch the ripples spread. Did the sky break? She would ask them. The children would laugh. No. And did the trees fall apart? No, they would say. Then your true self is not broken either, Mira would explain gently. Sometimes your mind is disturbed. Sometimes it feels cloudy. But beneath it all, you are clear. The children would sit quietly, watching the ripples fade. And so the villagers came to understand a simple truth. Comparison is a pebble. Fear is a ripple. But beneath every disturbance, there is a mind as clear as still water. When we stop throwing stones into our own lake, the mirror of the heart reflects the world just as it is.